Good morning. Oh, interesting title today. I think you'll see in a minute, hear in a minute. It is Corporate Actors Naked, Stripped of Immunity. The foreclosure on the international banks and the corporate governments in our world changes everything on planet Earth. In a nutshell, it removes the concept of limited liability by which the actors in the corporations could theoretically shield themselves from accountability. That immunity has been stripped away by the one people's public trust. All the bankers, politicians, CEOs, and other humans playing authority figure roles in the corporate structure now stand naked before the world, giving new meaning to the phrase, "The emperor has no clothes." Indeed, and they have no actual authority either, except what people give them through ignorance. A couple of days ago, I raised the question that a lot of people have on their minds. Who will enforce these new rules? I don't remember the exact title that I had, but that was the basic question. Okay, so we foreclosed. There's a new game in town. Who's going to make it work? Spirit started giving me the answer yesterday morning, in fact, in my meditation, which I talked to about fires of judgment and transformation sweep planet. That was the title yesterday, in which I was shown that the very elements of the world are conspiring on behalf of humanity to liberate us. Then last night I was on the Freedom Reigns program with Lisa and all of her friends, talking about the opt-in and the One People's Public Trust and the courtesy notices and other things that deal with the issue of the new paradigm that we have entered. And the answer to the question was, we will. We the people. It's our responsibility to educate the actors playing those roles. Boy, I wish I had a drink of water, but I didn't bring any with me. It is up to us to educate the judges and the attorneys and the politicians and the sheriffs and the military people and the other leaders of corporations that are performing horrendous deeds that hurt people in the world, creating injured parties all over the planet for the benefit, apparent benefit, of this elite group of people that think that they can control everything. Well, they've gotten away with it for a very, very long time. But people everywhere are waking up. And the awakening is exponential. It grows every day as more people learn about it and then share it with others, and then more people learn about it till the whole world will know about it. Over 200,000 people were on the call last night as I got to talk briefly, and I only intended to talk briefly, raising that question, who will enforce it? And I already knew the answer even before I asked it. I had sent them the video that I did 2 days ago and said that I wanted to bring that point up. And before I even got to the program, I already knew that it was my responsibility to inform and continue to inform the judges in the federal lawsuit, which, by the way, I misread. I looked at the cover page when it came on Saturday, and I really didn't look deeper. They did not yet dismiss the complaint. They are recommending that the complaint be dismissed, but it hasn't been dismissed yet. I get 14 more days from the time it was sent, which I think was Valentine's Day, or it was actually mailed on the 15th, I guess. So I have until basically the end of the month of February to respond again, this time informing them of their rights. Basically, they have the right to cease and desist dealing with me to try to steal my property, or they have the right to come over to the Republic side and actually do the job that they are under oath to do. And I will bring that. I haven't created any paperwork on it yet, but that will be the stance that I'm taking. But here's what I want to get through everyone's head. All, that's excluding none, all corporations are null and void. All of them. Because all corporations are charters issued by a government that is defunct. And someone just brought to my attention, therefore, when the government owns patents and stuff like that, those patents also are meaningless. Which means that our inventions are no longer profit-oriented, but public good-oriented. A totally different concept. The whole game of competition and of striving for money and one-upmanship and getting advantage over others is all going by the wayside. What about copyrights and other patents? Do they also fall by the wayside? I would hope that we honor people that are creative by blessing them and recognizing their contribution to the whole, that no one would be so crazy as to steal credit for someone else's invention or someone else's words or someone else's creation of any kind. There would be no need for it because we're in a cooperative world now, a world where we're learning a new game, a new paradigm, one of, as I said, cooperation. No longer do we need to compete with each other as if there's only enough pie for a few people. There's enough pie for everyone, and we can all eat cake. As Marie Antoinette said, let them eat cake. I think that's what was her line. And she was trying to make it to Pennsylvania. In fact, they set up a settlement there in Bradford County, Pennsylvania, between Wyalusing and Wysocks, Pennsylvania, called the French Asylum. But she got her head cut off before she ever made it over there. But I used to live right in that area, so I've been there more than once and seen the little place that was built as her refuge that she didn't get to. But the monarchs and the rulers that say, let the people eat cake, well, now the people are in charge. It's our responsibility to educate ourselves, and as we become educated, to help others become educated, till the whole world is educated, let out of the bondage of separation, let out of the bondage of false authority and enslavement of the people. Yes, the corporations have been involved in slave trade, and we humans have been the chattel in this trade. But I want you to understand, again, like I said yesterday, that even the elite are in fact victims of their own brainwashing. And someone sent me an article yesterday about the British monarchy and that it's not the real monarchy, but the pedophilia and the sex abuse in the elite world is horrendous. So that Prince Charles and other high up leaders were greatly abused by their own families as children, so that they went into an altered state of consciousness where they became callous. and hardened off their and burned their own conscience, seared their own conscience, so that they could no longer show empathy, and instead showed apathy toward the public in general, seeing themselves as superior because they were told all their lives that they were superior. This is a brainwashing of the elite. And so the elite turn it around and brainwash everybody else. And we've all fallen prey to this victim mentality, to this survival mentality. And we've not felt safe. We've lived in fear. And fear, when we live in fear all the time, what happens is we limit our own consciousness because fear shuts us down, whereas love opens us up. And what's happening in this new paradigm created with the mechanism created by the One People's Public Trust, what's happening now is we're going to learn to cooperate. Really, the winter solstice last year, that period of time last year really did bring the end to the old paradigm. And in a sense, it really did end on October 28, 2011, when the ninth wave ended. And everything since 11/11/11 has been new energy. And we're still learning this new energy. We're still learning the ropes. But the One People's Public Trust came in that window. And all sorts of other things that have happened and are continuing to happen liberate humanity. If there's anything that I can encourage you to do, it's to make yourself aware of the provisions of the One People's Public Trust. Make yourself aware of what it's like to know that the emperor really doesn't have any clothes, that their alleged immunity from prosecution for their actions no longer stands. Who's going to enforce it? We are, through education. We are, through information. This is the information age. We are being informed, and through the information we are being transformed so that we no longer need to live in fear, so that we can invite even those that are abusers to change hats, to change their heart, to change their mind. They might not want to do it right away, but when enough of us get on the bandwagon, when enough of us make everyone aware, everyone that we can, we make them aware, hey, there's a new game in town. You better learn the rules because everybody's accountable now. Nobody has limited liability. Nobody has immunity. We are each responsible for our actions. And if we cause harm to another, we owe an obligation to make reparation for the damage that we've done. And that's every one of us. I'm not talking about just the elite. I'm talking about all of humanity. We're under common law now. We're under natural law, the law of cause and effect. And if we cause harm, the effect is we pay reparations in one way or another. Instant karma, it comes back to us. We're in a new paradigm. We're in a new age. We're in a new era of enlightenment. This is the spiritual awakening of humankind. This is the Holy Spirit being poured out upon all flesh. This is the equalizer that makes all men equal. Not some men are more equal than others. If all men are equal, all men are brothers. Why then are some men more equal than others? A line from a song, I don't remember who wrote it now. Probably Larry Norman, but maybe not. In any case, it might have been Barry McGuire. Oh, I don't know. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. The point is, everything is new from here on out. Every day, we're creating together the new world that we're going to be living in the very near future. A world where all of the abuse stops, where the wars end, and where there is true justice based on truth, not convoluted rules that avoid truth at all costs, which is what our courts and our governments have done. They avoid truth. No more. The immunity is over. The game rules have changed. Living on planet Earth now is about love. It's about respect. It's about honoring one another. Are you up for it? I am, and many are. Together, we change the world, and we are the ones who bring the enforcement. We are the ones we have been waiting for. Namaste.